It was an unforgettable season for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, one that kept fans glued to their screens, eagerly anticipating each episode to see what Saucy Santana would do next. The flamboyant rapper, singer, and social media sensation had undeniably become a breakout star of the season, known for his unapologetic attitude, bold fashion choices, and unfiltered opinions. His meteoric rise to fame on the show had been nothing short of electrifying, with his larger-than-life persona captivating not only viewers but also fellow cast members. However, it was this very persona, overflowing with fierce confidence and an unrelenting razor-sharp tongue, that would eventually become his undoing. From the moment Santana stepped onto the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta stage, he was a walking firework display. Cameras adored him, his one-liners were instant classics, and his feuds with other cast members provided pure entertainment gold. Meanwhile, his music, a compelling mix of infectious hooks and fierce bars, was steadily climbing the charts. He embodied the essence of a star in every sense of the word, commanding attention and leaving an unforgettable impression. But with stardom comes inevitable tension, and in the chaotic universe of Love and Hip Hop, no one stays out of conflict for long. The drama surrounding Santana had been brewing long before the inevitable explosion. As the self-proclaimed Queen of Shade, he never shied away from expressing his candid thoughts, whether they were about his fellow cast members' music careers, personal lives, or anything in between. His sharp tongue became his signature, and while it gained him legions of fans, it also created an army of enemies. It wasn't long before his fiery personality clashed with some of the show's most formidable personalities. Tipping point came at one of the season's most anticipated events, an extravagant, star-studded party that promised to deliver the high-stakes drama fans had come to expect. The night started like any other in the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta world. Glittering drinks, designer outfits, and a lingering tension that suggested a showdown was inevitable. Santana had been feuding for weeks with one of the show's most established stars, a cast member known for handling drama with both grace and fury. Their issues had been simmering, boiling just beneath the surface, and in this moment it all came to a head. It started with a single cutting remark from Santana, one laced with venom and aimed directly at his rival. His words were as sharp as daggers, calculated to wound, and they landed precisely where he intended. But the other cast member, never one to back down, wasted no time in launching a blistering counterattack. The room fell silent as the two went head-to-head, trading insults that escalated with each exchange. Tension was thick, the confrontation was intense, and then it spiraled out of control. The verbal sparring match quickly evolved into an all-out shouting battle, voices growing louder, drawing in the attention of every guest in the room. And then, in a moment that would be replayed on screens across the nation, Santana snapped. Cameras captured the exact moment he reached his breaking point and lunged at his rival. Chaos erupted. Security intervened immediately, but not before the scene was immortalized on film, raw, unfiltered, and undeniably explosive. What was supposed to be a night of celebration had transformed into a volatile spectacle, broadcast for millions of viewers to consume. Behind the scenes, Love and Hip Hop producers knew they had a serious problem on their hands. What had initially been an electrifying season had now turned into a full-fledged public relations nightmare. Damage control went into full effect as producers scrambled to salvage the situation. Conversations began about Santana's future on the show. Was it worth keeping him on, knowing his unpredictable nature could lead to even more chaos? Or was it time to cut their losses? Ultimately, the network made its decision. The verdict was swift and final. Saucy Santana was officially fired from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. The network released a statement that was both brief and icy. Due to ongoing disruptions and a failure to adhere to the standards of conduct required on the show, Saucy Santana's contract has been terminated. The news sent shockwaves through the reality television world. For Santana, the announcement was both shocking and, in some ways, inevitable. He had always known that his fiery, no-holds-barred persona was a double-edged sword, one that had built his career but also had the power to destroy it. What he hadn't anticipated was just how quickly the show would turn its back on him. In a series of emotionally charged social media posts, Santana did not hold back. He went after the producers, accusing them of exploiting his persona for ratings only to discard him when things got too intense. He called out the industry's hypocrisy, vowing that no one would silence him. "They can kick me off, but they can't take my crown," he declared in what would become an infamous Instagram post. His fans, ever loyal, rallied behind him. Many supported his defiance, praising his unwavering authenticity. Others, however, criticized his actions, arguing that the altercation had crossed a line. Even some of his former castmates, who had once played along with his antics, took to social media to express their disappointment. Yet, despite the backlash and the division in public opinion, one fact remained indisputable: Saucy Santana was a force of nature. Whether you loved him or hated him, you couldn't ignore him. And while some saw his departure as a fall from grace for Santana, it was merely a new beginning. Refusing to let the controversy define him, Santana wasted no time shifting his focus back to his music. With a renewed sense of determination, he poured his energy into creating new singles, tracks that quickly dominated streaming platforms. Collaborating with major artists, he proved that his talent extended far beyond reality TV drama. His music videos, dripping with boldness and unapologetic confidence, reinforced his status as a cultural icon, a trailblazer who wasn't afraid to defy the odds. Love and Hip Hop. Atlanta may have been the platform that introduced him to the masses, but Santana was determined to show the world that he was more than just a reality TV personality. He was an artist, an entrepreneur, a force to be reckoned with. His departure from the show wasn't the end of his story. It was merely another chapter in his journey to something even greater. Though his time on Love and Hip Hop ended in flames, his impact on the show would linger. He had shaken things up, delivered drama, and left a mark that would not soon be forgotten. He had turned the Love and Hip Hop stage into his own battleground, and while his time there was cut short, his influence remained imprinted on the franchise. For better or worse, Saucy Santana had proven one undeniable truth: once you've stepped into the spotlight, you never truly leave it. The only question that remained was, what would he do next? And if history had taught us anything about Saucy Santana, it was that he never stayed down for long. He thrived in the face of adversity, turning obstacles into stepping stones and controversy into opportunity. The world had not seen the last of him, not by a long shot,